everyone, welcome to this week's episode of What's Going Down in Bruintown. We have a special guest for you today, Melinda Doolittle. Many of you probably remember her from season 6 of American Idol, where she captivated all of our hearts, the judges' hearts, those everywhere, with her soulful voice and just her sweet spirit. Unfortunately, she only made it to the top 3. However, many would argue that she should have made it all the way. Melinda Doolittle has sang backup for noted artists like Kirk Franklin, Michael McDonald, and Aretha Franklin. Despite the success that she has obtained and the fame that she has received, she still makes it a point to come back to her home and her alma mater here at Belmont University and talk to some students and talk with us and tell us a little bit about her story and give us some advice of how she got to where she is and what we can do to get to that point and make a success for ourselves. So thank you guys for watching, and I hope you enjoy our interview here with Melinda Doolittle. Thank you so much for being on What's Going Down in Bruintown today. It is such an honor to be sitting here talking with you.
Excited.
I'm excited. So like I said earlier, you belong here to Belmont. Tell us about your life here as a student.
Well, I transferred in my junior year. I went to University of Tulsa for my first 2 years of college, and they only had a classical music program. And so I was looking for a school with a commercial music program and also wanted to study music business. And Belmont was like the no-brainer choice for me. You know, it was just the perfect place to transfer in, small enough to get to know people, but large enough to have options when college was over, So I came to Belmont my junior year and hit the ground running. I mean, just loved it. Loved all of my commercial music classes, my music business courses. And it's so weird because to this day, the people that I work with are my Belmont connections, the people that are in my band, the people that hired me to sing background when I got out of college. All Belmont, and I love that Belmont plays such a big part in my life right now.
And I talked with you before and about how you didn't start out doing music your whole life. You had a little bit of some passions beforehand. Tell us about those.
Well, I tried a lot of different things. I tried being a gymnast, and I was awful at that. I tried being a dancer. I was the clumsiest. I ran into poles, all kinds of stuff. I tried being an ice skater, and I hate the cold, so nothing was really working. But music was the one thing that I was just driven by and excited about, and I loved that songs told stories, and I was really into Motown music and all of that, and so I wanted to sing. And my 7th grade year, I auditioned for a choir, and they were like, wow, you have a lot of charisma, and we're going to put you right in the middle. We want you to smile really big and move your mouth, but never let any sound come out. You're awful. And I was tone deaf. I mean, they would be hitting notes on the piano. I'd try to sing it back to them. I'd be completely off, but think I was right. So I went to my mom and I was like, Mama, I want to sing. I love music so much. I want to sing. And she was like, oh, baby, you're going to have to pray hard. And so that's what I did. I mean, with practice and prayer, it was something that I wanted so badly. And I wasn't going to give up until I could. And I, to this day, count it the hugest blessing that singing is my living. It doesn't even make sense coming from a tone-deaf 7th grader, but I needed this to happen so badly. So I'm very honored to sing now.
Well, talk about your mother and the influence that she played. You just mentioned her, and so I'd like to know kind of how she was kind of instrumental in getting you to your point.
I have the best mommy in the world. She and my dad were divorced before I was 1, so it was just the 2 of us growing up, and she taught me so many amazing lessons. One of my favorite lessons she taught was to say 3 nice things. And that was, I would come home from school and someone would have done something awful to me, and I want to talk about the awful thing, but before I was able to say something awful about anyone, I had to think of 3 nice things about them first. And she would make me say those 3 nice things before I said the bad thing. And if I couldn't think of 3 good things, I never got to say the bad. It completely changed my outlook on life. Now I look for the good first, and the bad is secondary. And I love that she taught me so many amazing lessons like that. She's still my best friend. That's my girl. We do everything together, so I love her.
Now, when you decided you wanted to audition for American Idol, tell us about that story and the journey and who played the part in getting you to do that.
I have a great friend named Doug Cortis, and we did musicals together at the Boiler Room Theater in Franklin. And he was going to the American Idol auditions and asked me would I go with him, and I was like, absolutely not. And he came back and said, well, if you go, you can see all of the funny auditioners in person. And I was like, maybe I'll go. So I went, called a couple friends, and the four of us drove to Memphis and went to the American Idol auditions just on a whim. I wanted to see what the show was really like and how they filmed it and all of that kind of stuff. And I just knew that we had to sign up to audition in order to be inside and watch everything. And I ended up being the only one out of the four of us to make it through. And I didn't take it that seriously because I was like, there are 16,000 people here. I know that I made it through, but my other friends are great and they didn't. And this was scary. I was here for 12 hours. I'm not doing any more. Like, I made it through the first round, great. And I called my mom to tell her that, I made it through, but I wasn't doing any more of the American Idol experience. And she was like, well, did you sign anything that, said that you might come back for the next audition? I was like, well, it was just kind of a TV release and maybe had the date of the next audition, but they're used to people not showing up. And she said, well, I raised you to be a woman of your word, so I guess you're going back. I'm so grateful to her now. I was not as grateful then, but I'm very grateful to her now that she made me be a woman of my word and go back. It was one of the most amazing experiences I've ever had.
Well, I love hearing about how your mom did, play that role and inspire you to do that. What specific role did Belmont University play in taking you to American Idol and bringing you to be this amazing woman that you are today?
Well, Belmont for me was amazing for a couple of reasons. There was one class in the School of Music called Pop Rock Styles, which taught us to sing all different styles of music, and what better place to showcase that than American Idol, where every week is like Bon Jovi week, Latin week, you name it, it's Diana Ross week, okay, so being able to sing all those different styles, I learned right here at Belmont, and I used it every single week on the show. And then with my music business courses, learning how to read a contract, understanding publishing, all of that for me, learning about management, all of that for me, I use daily. Like when a contract comes across my desk, I'm able to be like, when you write in perpetuity, I know what you mean by that. Like I understand what things mean, and I'm able to negotiate for myself, and it's so important in this business to understand because people will take advantage of you. So Belmont has been really, really awesome in that experience.
Well, I think it's exciting that you got to actually meet Simon, who I am in love with and always will be no matter what. Do you have like a specific moment with him, or like the most time he ever intimidated you, or just a funny story about him?
Well, Simon's just intimidating standing there. But I think maybe the week that he figured out that I was actually a nice person and I wasn't putting it on, like that was just who I was. And he, I think during my critique, he said, you know what, you really are this nice and you're never going to change, are you? And I was like, I hope not. And he came backstage afterwards and was like, you hold on to that, because not too many people in this business have that. And that for me, just meant a lot because, he makes a living on not being the nice person. So for him to validate that was really cool to me.
Oh, I bet. I would have loved to have been there, but I don't sing, and I don't try. I know that you have written a book, and your mother also played a role in that book. And so tell us about it and where we can find it.
The book is called Beyond Me. The easiest place to find it is either on Amazon or at melindadoolittle.com, which is my website. I would go there first because it's my website, and it's got cool pictures too. But I wrote the book, and it's full of mommy-isms, as I call them, just different lessons that my mom taught me that have shaped me into the woman that I am today, different lessons that anybody can use, like saying the 3 nice things, how to deal with criticism, how to deal with fear, how to sing in spite of it, or to not even sing if you're speaking, if you're whatever you're doing, how to approach fear, stare it in the face, and keep going, So all of those lessons are in there, and they're really practical things that anybody can use, but they're what have made me who I am today.
And what advice would you give to Belmont students or students anywhere that have a desire to become a musician or an artist of any kind?
My motto in life is to dream big, pray hard, and be prepared. And I think a lot of times we limit ourselves by not dreaming outside of the box, not thinking, okay, but I want to do it different than everybody else is. So I encourage people to just dream beyond what they see in front of them. So dream big, pray hard. I believe that God can help you achieve any dream and any goal. So definitely prayer is very important. And then be prepared, because when God opens that door, when any door is open for you, if you're not prepared to walk through it, then you've wasted that opportunity.
Well, thank you for that. And you guys, you heard her. Thank you so much for being on our show. You are such an inspiration and so much fun to talk to and hang out with. All of you who haven't, put that on your checklist of things to do before, your life is over. But thank you for watching, and come back next week as we will have a new special exclusive interview. But until then, I'm Kayla Becker with What's Going Down in Bruintown, and I will see you next week.
Hey guys, it's Allee-Sutton Hethcoat, your fashion correspondent for What's Going Down in Bruintown. Today we're coming at you from Bishop's Salon and Day Spa in Nashville, Tennessee. And with us we have a very special guest, artistic director here at Bishop's, Matt Smith. Matt, thanks for being with us today.
Thank you for having me, Allie.
Why is it so important that people budget for professional hair care?
I think it's important because in society and actually going out there for interviews and stuff, first impressions are everything. From your clothes down to your hair. So I think budgeting in for a good haircut or a good color is very important. And there's so many options out there nowadays for different salons around Nashville that have different haircutting prices, different color scales. If you get a full highlight, you don't have to get that every time. You can just get like a few pieces just to highlight just around your face. And there's so many options out there nowadays.
Absolutely. And also, coming in to see your hairstylist is something you have to do, not all the time. What is a normal schedule like for hair care, professional hair care?
I think to just maintain a good haircut, especially like length of yours, we're seeing a lot of long hair nowadays. It's about 6 to 12 weeks just to keep those dead ends off of there. You don't have to come in every 4 weeks. It's not realistic anymore these days.
Absolutely. And Matt, you just came back from New York Fashion Week where you were a hair and makeup stylist. Do you have any tips or secrets you can share from the runway with our viewers?
Well, I think a lot of new trends that you should be looking out for. Everything is going to a little bit more of that 70s bohemian, very free and easy, full bouncy hair. The colors are a little bit more muted, like pastels and stuff for makeup and nail color. Hair color, the blondes are just going a little bit more goldenly wheat, and just deep chocolate browns for those brunettes.
Absolutely. What are some things that our viewers can do on a day-to-day basis to look like they just stepped off the runway?
Maybe switch up their style. If you flat iron your hair every day, maybe just go natural and just let it just be free and easy with no fuss or muss to it. I definitely think that would change the look and definitely turn some heads of people like, oh my God, you've changed your hair, and definitely make you feel better about your day.
Absolutely, and we're going to have a little demo from Matt here in a bit for all of our viewers who are looking for some help with day-to-day healthcare. But another thing is that we're in a very transitional time right now. We're transitioning into the spring and summer months, and I know that's a time that is really hard on the health of your hair. What are some tips you can share with our viewers for how to keep your hair looking healthy and fabulous during these next few months?
Well, I think definitely being out in the sun, you definitely want to protect it from the sun rays. Maybe use a leave-in conditioner and just go out with your hair damp with that. Using color-safe shampoos and conditioners is definitely important when you're being out in the sun, because your hair just naturally lightens up, and you want to keep your color that you've been paying so much money for, you want to keep it lasting as long as possible.
All right, now Matt's going to do a demo for us on how to show us all how to take our old ponytail from drab to fab.
So instead of wearing your hair in a ponytail every day like we know you all like to do, why not switch it up a little and do a sleek little bun? Or you could twist it or braid it however you like. I'm going to braid Cassie's hair today. Just give you a little something extra. So just a standard braid, you could do a fishtail, you could do as many strands as you want. It's totally up to you, whatever you're feeling that morning, that afternoon, that evening. And all you want to do is just wrap it around that ponytail holder. Tuck that underneath and just pin it. You want to secure it wherever you're putting pressure. So you just pop it in like so. And then fasten the other side. And there you go.
Okay, and Matt, for all of our viewers who are interested in seeking some professional health care, how can they get in contact with you all?
Well, you can contact any of our stylists here at Bishop Salon at www.bishopsalon.com. It has all of our information on there, all our services, prices, and all the stylists.
Matt, thank you so much for having us today.
Thank you so much for having me.
I will see you next time here on the fashion segment of What's Going Down in Bruintown.